Good morning, guys. It's Leslie at Inskeep Acres. Oh, it got chilly overnight. We're about 55 degrees this morning. I think we're supposed to get down to about 40 the next couple nights and be in the 50s and 60s for the next week. So, got Stu Cat was in playing with her brother in the house for a little bit this morning. So she's coming back out with me. Jason and I split some wood the other night when he got home from work. And that's just, Stu, very beginning of what we need. We're, as usual, a little behind on that. Joker, your face is supposed to be white. It's gross. Don't zap yourself. Hi, ladies. Hi, guys. What, Stu? Oh, didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. I'm telling you, this cat is like a dog. She follows me everywhere while I do chores. Meat birds. Hi, guys. One big thing I did accomplish yesterday was my turkey roost. Hi. You guys are getting big. Big turkeys. Lots of toms. Lots of toms. And you guys still got a little ways to go. We won't process them until the weekend before Thanksgiving. I did open up this fence the other day after I started getting the trampoline hoop frame, hoop coop, whatever you want to call it, done. So yesterday I built this turkey roost. A couple of them were up on it. A bunch of them were still on top of things over there. But I think they'll start using this a little bit more once they get used to it. So I'm thinking I can divide my little trampoline hoop house into two parts. Kind of do like a net with a partial wall or something with like a small door or gate in between. So I can put all of these white rocks in there. But I can put some of these white rock roosters with the white rock hens on one side. And I can put my Cornish roosters with some of the white rock hens on the other side. And then when I hatch eggs, I could hatch hopefully a decent Cornish cross, or I can hatch some of these white rocks. These guys are actually pretty good size. They won't have the big full breast meat that like a cross does, but they'd make a decent dinner. So we might hatch a little bit of both. I only need like one rooster for every 10 hens, so there you go. You're figuring it out there, huh? I think this will probably be an outside roost if I divide this, because it won't really fit. Oh. I have to double check, but I think his name is Dale. And you don't belong in my garden, sir. You're gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna send a picture to the neighbor. And then we have to chase him out of the garden so he doesn't eat my stuff. If I can hold my camera and my phone or not. Okay, well, we'll send that to the neighbor. And I'll go get you guys some breakfast. How about that? Oh, there's Abel. You must have been up on the deck when I came out, huh? And the Naners. Hi, Kane. Hi, Abel. Abel Dable. Oh, who else are we gonna go see? Oh, it's kind of chilly out here and I don't like it one bit. I hate winter. If I could have like 70, 80 year round, I'd be happy, but then we wouldn't get rid of bugs. You guys need a water refresh today, huh? You guys are making a mess of it. Hi. She might have been bred about 2 days ago, so we'll see. I didn't put anybody else together for a breeding pen this week. I think there's what, 3, 6, there's 8 in breeding pens already. So I want to make sure we get those 8 bred, give them a little bit of time, and then maybe put some more together next week. Jason's excited to have his yard goats. Well, yard goat at the moment. I don't know, can you guys see Caribou? He's been just free ranging wherever he wants. He wants to let Slash out with him, but Slash puts himself back in the pen at night, so. Gemma was out with Boo, but Gemma's a big head and causes trouble, so. One week, big pigs. 1 week. This time next Friday, you'll be going to freezer camp. Yes, you. And you. Where are you going? And you've been a more expensive feeder pig, having to come back here on the diet. Maybe you'll go in my freezer. Hi ladies, I don't have your breakfast yet. I have to go get it. Oh. How come you guys are all laying down? Only one out there eating is Junior. Hi boys. How are we doing? Oh, let's see. What do we got? To see Thor and oh, squishy wet. Then I think that's everybody. There's Thor right there. All right, I'm gonna get everybody fed. Not sure what we're going to do today. I probably need to pick all the tomatoes we have that are any good in the garden before we get down into the high 30s, 40s. I guess as long as it doesn't freeze, it doesn't really matter. I'm thinking we might try to make a batch of soap today. It's probably been almost 2 years since I've made soap. Oh yeah, 2 years? Well, maybe it's been less than that because I've made the neighbor's coffee bar that he likes, and I've made Jason's batch of soap. But he's out and he's been out and he's been yelling at me that he needs soap, so I don't think I have all the essential oils for the fragrance that I need, but I'll make do with what I have and I'll have to order some more. Oh, chilly enough out here, it's got my nose running. Oh, that doesn't take much. Oh, there's a Ricardo in here too. What are you doing in my garden, Ricardo? Searching for little rodents. Look at all these peppers. I just picked a whole bunch of peppers. Sir, what are you doing in my garden? I don't know if that's the big one or if that's the big one. I think you're bigger. I don't know. You're a Tom. That's all I know. Let's see if we can catch you. Sir? Excuse me. Excuse me. No. No. Scratch me. And then I'm gonna get mad. Okay. Relax. Oh. We're gonna take him back to his home. He'll end up hopping back out of the fence again, but that's okay. Not like there's a whole lot to keep him out. I gotta set you guys down. I can't reach over the fence. Stay home. Darn turkeys. Whew. Oh, he's over there yelling at me. All right. Whew. Oh, he's got me all worn out. He's heavy. Oh. I was doing a little more looking, and these white rocks, they say they start laying around 5 months. And I don't remember, I looked, I think they're four going on 5 months, so we'll be able to start hatching. Well, we'll have extra eggs in the beginning, and then we'll be able to start hatching early in the spring to see if we can grow out our own meat birds. Oh. So I am going to get my pig feed and go feed the pigs, feed the poultry, finish checking on everybody else out here, and then we'll go in the house and find some stuff to do. Alright guys, before I can attempt to make soap or do anything else, we need to do something with all of these peppers. This half of my island is full, and I have some on the counter over there, and I have some on the counter over here. I've got some tomatoes soaking in the sink. So I'm going to spend the next little while chopping a bunch of these up. Tabasco is going to go into a ferment. Habaneros are going to go into a ferment. And the red srirachas are going to go into a ferment. And then I think some of the other stuff I'm going to chop up and put in the freezer. I want to put some in the freeze dryer and test that out. I think some of these jalapenos, I took out some sausage out of the freezer yesterday. I think I'm going to try doing stuffed jalapenos and then sticking them in the freezer so we can just take them out whenever we want them over the winter. I've never done it, but I've seen a lot of people do it, so that'll be nice to have. I have more pepperoncinis, poblanos, Anaheims. Last year I canned a bunch of small jars like this size of chopped up like jalapenos and poblanos and stuff like that, and we used them kind of like diced chilies, and they've gone really well. So I might do some more of those. I'll have to see how many small jars I have. And tomatoes I need to get into the freezer. So if I can get all this stuff, at least half of it done, then maybe we can make a batch of soap after that. So I'm going to go through and just chop up peppers and see how much of it I can get done. of the red serranos chopped up. I've got another small pile over here, but my cutting board's full. So we're going to weigh them. Fermenting, you have to have the weight of all of the ingredients, because then you have to calculate how much salt that you add to it for it to ferment. So I'm probably going to have to do this in batches and cut a large bag. Okay. So attempt. Mess. Okay, so I got write down what I have. And I'm gonna bag that. It's gonna be harder to write on it once I have everything in the bag, but oh well, I'll deal with it. I'm going to have to weigh other ingredients that will go into here as well. I don't remember what all goes in the sriracha, but I'm sure there's probably some onion and garlic, and I know there's other stuff that goes in his mango habanero and stuff like that. So I'm going to finish chopping these up and we'll add that to the bag. Now I could put these in the food processor or use my chopper, but I am washing this in between each type of pepper so that I don't have the flavors crossing over. And I don't really feel like washing my chopper or my food processor in between each kind. This is just easier to wash. These are the peppers that I picked several days ago, probably almost a week ago, so they're starting to get a little soft. But they will ferment okay, especially with all of the fresh peppers we're putting in. I opened up some windows, turned the AC off. I actually just had to close the door here in the kitchen. It was blowing in. It's pretty chilly. But I believe it's supposed to then warm back up. The neighbor just said it's raining. Oh, fantastic. It's raining. I have dogs on the deck. So I keep forgetting to say, if you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure that you're subscribed. Like the video, share it. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's the only kind of milestone that we need to hit, and then we can be monetized. That's the goal, at least. I think last time I checked I was at like 930 something subscribers, so we're not far off. Definitely got closer to hitting that goal faster than I thought we would. But we have a little bit further to go. I think if I get monetized, it'll give me a little more incentive to make sure I'm putting out more videos. I was doing really well for a while, trying to get out 5 videos a week. Oh, there just hasn't been a whole lot going on. I mean, there has, but it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. Going out, feeding. No, Kane, you cannot come in the house. Going out, feeding, doing my everyday chores is just the same thing over and over again. Try to get you guys a little bit of canning stuff here. It just got so crazy that recording everything makes everything take so much longer. And I just had so much preserving to get done that I really didn't have time to film it. Now that we're slowing down a little bit, and I got my house back in order, I'm going to try to show you the rest of the preserving this year. Like I said, hopefully try to get to some soap making. We have still a little bit more tomatoes in the garden to bring in. I've just been, most of them, sticking in the freezer, other than the ones that I cooked down in the roaster for sauce. I like to can my Romas with no skins on them, and I despise blanching tomatoes, so usually I just stick them in the freezer, and then when you take them out and they start to thaw, the skins peel right off. So there are there's several bags in the freezer of tomatoes. Ooh, windy out there. So we will be taking those out of the freezer at some point and taking care of those. Better write. There's another 366 grams in case it shuts off. It likes to do that on me. can show canning those. What else? We have all of those pumpkins. I think I'm going to try making a pumpkin butter. We love apple butter, and I love pumpkin anything, so I think we're going to try pumpkin butter with some of the pumpkins that I have in here that need to be used sooner than the others. Some of the others I may try canning a pumpkin puree. It's not an approved thing to can, so I don't know if I will take you guys with me on that or not. I don't need anybody coming after me for canning non-approved things. It's my kitchen. I can the way I'd like to. I'm not forcing anyone else to do it. Let Mama back in. Okay, that's you. Go find your topper. Last round I chopped these a lot finer. I'm just trying to get more surface space of the peppers for fermenting. But I don't feel like making them as small this time. We'll see. May just take a little longer. Shut off on me. So we'll have to add that 366 to whatever I get here. Okay. Oh, 5 should be 580. Yep, so we're going to add 580 grams on here. Oh, I don't think that bag's going to be big enough. That's okay. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Okay, we have habaneros. These are hot Jason said he liked the flavor of the mixed peppers that I pickled over just jalapenos, but they were kind of soft, so I think some of them were getting a little soft when I canned them, so that could be part of the problem. So I'm just going to continue through chopping everything up, and then we'll come back and go through adding some more stuff to our fermented peppers. Alright, well, I got a little carried away. Turned on my music and started chopping peppers and doing what I needed to do. So I got everything all bagged in all of them. I put a grip stick on just to kind of hold it so I don't spill anything, and I'm going to just mix them up. The sriracha bags, there's not a whole lot to mix. I did, the first time I made it, I added some brown sugar. I did those in a jar ferment. So the batch that I have going over there does not have any brown sugar in it, and it was the most active. But so this is serranos, garlic, brown sugar, and I did a 4% salt. So that's mixed up. That'll go over and be vacuum sealed. Okay, so we vacuumed it out. It is written on here what it is. We'll be able to see that better once it starts to ferment. But it is well sealed. So there is one down. Here is, this bag may not be big enough. I'll have to keep an eye on this one. It's not quite as long as this one, but I made my other one probably at least twice the size it needed to be, so I'm actually probably going to have to keep an eye on both of these because they're only about twice the bag of what's in them. But if they get blowing up too much, I will put a hole in them or cut them and reseal them. The ferments I have going over there right now, the sriracha is the only one that really inflated its bag. I'm just going to set this over here. And here's our Tabasco. It is just Tabasco peppers, garlic, and salt. So there's that. And some of these will get some vinegar added at the end when they're done fermenting, when we blend them, and some will not. Like Jason likes this mango habanero because he doesn't like a really vinegar sauce. Just trying to kind of shake the salt around. I don't care so much if everything else gets mixed up. Once it starts fermenting and I kind of go in and mix it up, I kind of just squeeze them a little bit each day as they start to blow back up, and they'll get mixed more then. So we're gonna go and vacuum seal these. Okay, mine has a food setting for dry or wet, so I like to put it on the moist setting for the wet food because there is a little bit of liquid in here. And that one may not seal. There's enough liquid in there that as it got close to sucking most of the air out, that liquid started to shoot up, so I hit seal. We may have to seal it a couple times. Yeah, it's not great, so I'm going to clean this a little. I haven't seen any air get back into it, but so I'm just going to kind of angle it. Try to get it to catch here. So it's straight across it now. I'm going to do a slight angle this way and a slight angle this way. So it almost kind of makes an X on it. It's done too many seals in a row. Oof, peppers. So there's a seal across here, and then this kind of angles up. We're going to try to get the other direction. Oh. So those look pretty good. This is the one I just did. The one before that, and then there's one kind of down the center. So that'll be good for that one. This one's got quite a bit of moisture in it as well. That looks like it's sealed well. And let's try to get this one. Now these sat for a while I chopped up everything and put in each bag. If I had done each one individually, it probably wouldn't have as much moisture in them, and I could seal them down a little more airtight, but that works. So here's our ferments in their bags. Jason's Mango Habanero, Tabasco, and 2 srirachas. When I first made sriracha, I usually did half red serranos and half red jalapenos. But as you can see, I only have a couple jalapenos turning red. Usually the last batch I just threw a couple of them in with it, but we're going to try just serranos this time and see. Alright, this is the sriracha that I did on 9/21, so it's been 2 weeks. You can see kind of how much air is in the bag. I guess it's not air, it's CO2, but it did not inflate it, maybe a little over halfway, so that's why I said I'm going to have to keep an eye on those other ones, because there's very little in here, and that would be full tight. So probably took 3 to 4 times the bag to fill air. So I think this one is probably about ready to process. So what I'll do, if I don't take you guys with me, I will put this into a blender and add a little bit of vinegar. Last time I had made some with regular white vinegar and some with apple cider vinegar, and I think I like the ACV a little bit better, so I'll probably do ACV in this. And then I can strain it to strain out the seeds. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't mind kind of the pulp and stuff in there. I'm not a huge fan of the seeds in it, but it's really hard to get the pulp out without the seeds. I may have to try my food mill, but we'll see. I don't know. And then last year I canned it. I don't know if there's enough here to can, but I can either just stick it in the refrigerator once it's blended and it will stay ferment, or I can cook it basically to pasteurize it, and that will stop the fermentation, and then it just becomes a sauce. So hopefully in the next few days I'll get that one done. The Jason's Mango Habanero, this is obviously a very small portion of it, but it was what I had. So this one I like to go at least 2 to 3 weeks, if not a little bit longer. It's really not very active anymore, and it did not hardly blow up with any CO2 in there. So we're going to let this one sit just a little bit longer, and then I will just take this and puree it as is and put it in jars. So that will stay just like that, but blended. And then here's our little batch of Tabasco that we did. I mean, Tabasco, they ferment theirs in wooden barrels for up to 3 years. Well, we're not going to go that far, but this, we'll let this one probably go for at least a couple months. It's a small batch, so we may let it go even longer. But my Tabasco that I tried to make last year, I had in jars, and I ended up getting some mold in it, so I had to throw it out. So this will be our first homemade Tabasco. And this you're supposed to then add vinegar, let it sit for 3 to 4 weeks, and then blend it down and then strain it. So we'll see. This won't make much, but it should have a lot of flavor. And I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this stuff. I know some of these jalapenos, I said I want to do stuffed jalapenos. I may not get to that today. It's already 3 o'clock. Poblanos, I'm thinking maybe we'll freeze dry some. I have a bunch in the freezer from last year. Anaheim's we might chop up and freeze dry. I like to do roasted poblanos and then make a cream sauce, but I haven't tried like freezing that. I don't think a cream sauce would freeze right, so I just need to preserve the poblanos to make that in the future. Other than that, I have a bunch of tomatoes, sweet peppers. Oh, there's a whole bunch of those pepperoncinis over there. So I have to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of that. Well, I think the next project we're going to tackle is pumpkins. Well, that's it, guys. Have a good day. See ya on the next one.